My name is Dave Chapelle.
I'm LaTonya Swan, and this is Acknowledge the Hero.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Yeah.
Yeah, we took a little holiday break. Living life, being parents and shit.
Let y'all be with y'all families and shit.
Yeah, but we back.
Yeah.
I just want to start off by saying, why the fuck do babies' toys take so many damn batteries? If I have to see one more fucking battery,
I don't know. We didn't even get to the heart of that era yet.
The heart? Oh yeah, needing
like
stuff with batteries.
We still at the beginning phases.
And you hate the songs.
Because they cheesy. I want to make a company that makes... I don't even know if I should say it on here. Well, I want to make a company that like has good baby music in the toys. Like actual good music and not just like... Gather around, we are friends, let's pretend.
That was close. But.
That's exactly how it sounds. It's the same cadence and everything. But, I don't know, just something a little more
even that good.
not thought-provoking, but...
It's a better song.
Yeah, like why can't baby toys have good songs?
I don't know. Baby's checking for that?
Yeah, baby like good music. Babies like good vibes and energy.
True. I feel that.
Babies, no. You gotta stop,
baby and babies.
Yeah. Underestimating them.
I believe you. You should do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we went to a New Year's Eve party. It was, interesting.
Was it, Tony? It was interesting?
Yeah, it was.
You was taking shots? I didn't even know you were taking shots.
Oh yeah, I got friends everywhere.
I know this nigga was just blending in like, Tony! It was a guy who didn't know me and Tonya's name who introduced himself to us 38 times, but when he was about to leave, he was like, Tony!
Bye, Tony!
Bye, Tony! Tony!
And the crazy part is that we've met him before.
Mm-hmm.
We have. It was once, obviously, but we met him before.
Ooh.
Before last night. I took it easy. I started off.
You took it easy?
I did, because I started off, like, I only had one drink pretty much besides I know, because that fucking rum, like, I just kept on sipping and sipping and sipping, and then, like...
That was strong. Did you feel like strong?
Yeah. And then it, like, kind of snuck up on me, and I was like, I didn't want to have that, like, drunk, sick feeling, or, so I just stopped. I chilled out. Like, I was drinking beer, I think.
I had that nasty-ass beer.
That shit tasted like brewed dirt. Like, it was so nasty. And then the same white dude was drinking that drink, like, this is good.
It was disgusting. It was something else.
All the awkward
Did you see,
racial
hold on, before we get to that.
Sorry, okay.
Did you see her attack me with a meatball?
Yeah.
You saw it? Okay.
See, what had happened was I was eating a meatball with a toothpick, right? And, he was telling me how he wanted a piece. And, at first I wasn't going to give it to him, but I was like, all right, eat my boo, whatever. So I bit half of the meatball, but it was like, the toothpick was like sticking out a little bit, like it wasn't in there all the way, because obviously I bit the other half off that was keeping it together. So I thought that we was on the same page. I thought he was looking at me. I went to like give him the meatball to like, bite. And that joint just started falling off the toothpick, and I was trying to stop it from falling off the toothpick, but I was like walking even like further
closer to me. In my eyes, it looked like she was like attacking me with the meat. It looked like some like TV moment where she was like, oops, like how like somebody accidentally but purposely tossed something on somebody. It looked like that, and then I was like, I asked you about that like 5 minutes ago.
In my head, it was like 5 seconds.
Like we wasn't even in eye contact. If she was trying to do the food to the mouth sweet shit, I wasn't even looking. Like I noticed when I saw somebody coming at me like this, like with a meatball. If you wearing white, anything with you.
When I tell you, he was so pissed. Yeah, because black is my power color.
When you wear white, it's always like, yo, I can't sit on this chair. I can't.
See, that's why.
Because it's white. Once you mess up white, it's over.
That's too much work.
She tried to flip it and was like, why are you being so mean all of a sudden?
Well, first of all, it's a few things. First of all, it's a few things. One, I was embarrassed because the meatball handoff didn't go how I planned it to go, and I know how it looked from the outside. That was number one. Second of all, Davon got super upset. Like, we was transported to the streets in New York. He stepped on his shoe. Like, he was cussing me out like I was some nigga on the street.
It wasn't even that serious. That's how I know she was drunk. It was no cursing out.
He wasn't cussing at me.
Whatsoever.
He was mad disrespected. Like, he felt like I did. Like, he took that shit personally. Like, why the fuck? Like,
why are you playing with meatballs around my white shirt? That's
he was really upset. And third of all, I forgot. I forgot. It was the third one, but I can't remember.
You playing with meatballs around my white shirt. She's like,
It was an accident.
Why you
it already looked stupid, like, as it is, and I just felt like he was, like, drawing more attention to it. And I was like,
nobody was paying attention. I only saw that because I know y'all.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird situation. And it was like, you know, I don't, like, I'm in, like, mom mode, so I don't be smoking like that. And, you know, I smoked before last night. And when I tell you I had to concentrate so hard driving to the joint, like, y'all didn't even know. Like,
I didn't know this.
So in my head, maybe, or not in my head, maybe the meatball situation, like, went a lot slower in my head than it, like, actually did in real life. And that was the disconnect between, like, you know, the meatball pass off.
Nah, B. Eye contact. We do that all the time, don't we? When we drink it, eye contact. If you passing a meatball?
Yo, the party host parents was killing the game with the food, yo. Like, they had everything and they just... Why am I in the front? So random. But yeah, they had everything, yo. Like, when I tell you I probably tried every single thing, it was the munchies mostly, but I also wanted to try everything. Like, that shit was like, I felt like I was at, like, a hotel or something. Like, they had everything.
Was it Greek food?
Polish.
Polish.
I mean, it was regular food. But
I don't know what it was, but those biscuits, oh my gosh. Those biscuits was fucking the weenies, paws. The miniature weenies, though. And the meatballs, the judges.
Meatballs was ridiculous.
And then the guy that was stalking the crock pot, the whole time, he was like, everyone
it's finished. He was hanging out by the crock pot.
He was like, everyone know that it was about to be.
But he was my spirit animal because I needed to know what the fuck was in the crock pot. Like, she was already killing the game, and I was like, all of it. What's she bringing? What's she doing now? But I got the sense that they were like, I don't know, like the type of people that are like fake accepting. You know what I mean? Or they're just like mad, annoyed by like all the young shit and they was just focusing on like, you know, the food and stuff.
I didn't get that. I got more like, I don't know. It was New Year's at a party. Like, they were just being good hosts. Like, I didn't get a vibe like, because it wasn't their party, but it's their house. So it's like.
Oh, yeah. Like maybe they were trying to like blend in. So
and yeah, like, you know, and they were cleaning around us, like, to make sure, like, it was just. I didn't get it like, I don't know. Like, I thought they were nice people. I mean, we were in there.
That's true.
And smoking, drinking, playing beer pong.
That's true.
Niggas was drunk. Like, niggas was like,
that fucking. It was laid out on
the fucking Knicks thing.
Oh, they
was
had like
gone.
They had an electric.
It was
gone.
Electric bartender drink mixer,
it
whatever.
Was
it was like. I felt like I was in the Jetsons.
I guess that would be in the joke.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I want this kind of drink, and that drink just poured for you. Like, it was tight.
Yeah.
But then I pressed strong, or I didn't press it, but somebody pressed strong for me in that. And I don't really drink rum, so that was like a first too.
Fuck all that. You know what I figured out, Tony, about that party?
What?
What I learned from that party? That your sister is like she's a lie.
A lie?
Yeah, let me ease him into this.
I'm a lie. Okay.
For all the years that I've known Tanya, she's been like this what's the word I'm looking for? Against America kind of thing. Like, she don't like America, but I live here kind of person. Like, the system's garbage and, you know, that type of person. Conspiracy theorists. We about to pose for the New Year picture. They playing, what's the name of the song? I know you know.
America the Free.
America the Free.
Everybody should know that song.
Let me set it up.
Okay.
They playing America the Free. Mind you, I never even heard this song a day in my life. I don't know if I'm just too black
Yeah.
I ain't hear that either.
Y'all need
But
to
Tanya was in the front row singing the shit out that song like America, fuck yeah. that's how like strongly she was singing that joke until was it?
Yeah, can I
Okay,
interject?
yeah.
First of all, y'all mad un-American for not knowing that song. It's just like you can't not come across that song. So
She talked about the national anthem being bad on the show.
let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So first of all, like I'm worldly, so I know the song. That's number one.
It's an American song.
And
That
also-
don't make you worldly.
It makes you unworthy
Yeah,
if you don't know the
yeah,
song.
yeah.
But anyway, like introverts, right? Like if we're at the party, we're at the party. If we're not trying to be there, we're not trying to be there. And at the point, I was like at the party, I was enjoying myself. Like I was, tuned into everybody. So it's a lot of white people. I mean, it was a good mix. It was like very diverse, but like it's a lot of white people.
Black.
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
It's for
But
black people. including
when
us.
that song
Three.
came on, that's how I realized how many white people it was. But anyway, so I was like tuned into the group, so I started singing it, right? And like, then I stepped outside of myself and like looked at myself, like I looked at the whole picture, and then the part, because it say, I'm proud to be an American, like that's the part that I was singing, like Davon was talking about, whatever. But then I started thinking about it, like the next part was like, where at least I know I'm free. And then I was
If
like,
you would have seen my face.
I was like, well, that's not true for me, so I feel weird. Like I kind of like stepped out of it or whatever, and I looked around, and then I realized just how hard we all was just singing that. And then once I stopped,
We all.
yeah. I mean, not
y'all.
You. I'm talking about
Me
the
and Tony
group that I'm
wasn't in
tuned
it.
into.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like they were singing it really hard to the point where like I all of a sudden felt like real uncomfortable or whatever. And I was looking around, and it was like the Hispanic people, the black people, all kind of had the same face on. Like
What's the boy that kept saying
Byron?
Byron? Yeah. He just kept saying my name, like in a sentence.
Yeah.
I was like, you ain't gotta say my name no more, right?
I don't know if he was trying to like remember it or whatever.
Yeah.
But then
He's
Davon,
like, why you laughing?
like Davon, he responds to everything with laughing. Like, when we arguing, I'd be pissed as shit. Like, why the fuck are you like laughing? But that's just what he do.
Sick.
Like, he just responds to stuff with a laugh or whatever. So the dude thought that, like, I don't know, he started to feel like Davon was laughing at him. Like, he didn't.
I was laughing at it though.
But you was like, you was closer to laughing with him than laughing at him.
True.
Like,
I just thought it was like, because I was like, he's like, why you laughing? I was like, because you keep saying my name to remember it. So like, when you talk to somebody, I don't keep saying, yeah, and then I watched Dave Chapelle, Tony, and then I went to the mall, Tony, and then I was like, that's just like, after a while you catch on to it, and it is funny. Like, it ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, but he was like, no, if I remember your name, it's good.
It's special. Like, basically, you got a black ass name, so I'm gonna remember it. So I'm not saying it to remember. What I got from it is that, how when like that point when somebody gets so drunk that they.
Yeah, I think he was just drunk.
Yeah, like everything is coming out like mad, weird, and truthful, kind of or whatever. So he was saying stuff to us like y'all had a baby, or like y'all are goals, like y'all just like. Y'all sitting here talking to each other at the party, like that's so cool. And like the first or second time, like it's like, oh thank you, like it's cool. But then when he just keep on saying it, like
I want to jump in your skin.
I don't know, it started to feel a little weird, and that's why I was laughing. Like I wasn't laughing because like, and I wasn't laughing at him. I was just, I don't know. I like when people's like real, authentic, random shit come out. So like that's why I was laughing. I didn't get that he was like trying to remember your name. I just feel like he was like, really tuned into him. It really tuned into us, and I cannot stand.
Hold on, wait. Before you get to that, we have to. I brought him up because when we were singing, remember that thought that you had right now.
Okay.
When we were singing, when y'all was singing that, what is it? American Anthem?
Free? No,
What is it? American song?
Yeah.
When they got to the free part, my face was like. No,
we ain't free.
I know I ain't free. And he just like, he looked at me and bust out laughing. Like, he was like, he couldn't control it. He's like, did you see Davon's face as they said they're free? Like, hell no, we ain't free. How the fuck y'all singing this? All of y'all, you an immigrant, I'm an immigrant. Like,
maybe not, but yeah.
That shit was hilarious. I couldn't believe that was the song that played that brought in the new year.
Yeah, I just feel like on that part of the song, like everything slowed down, and I just took in like just.
She's like, oh.
That's exactly how I felt. And then like if you could have saw like how like they were singing it with like gusto, like it was so strong and like just Anglo-Saxon, like it just made me real uncomfortable. Like it was fists going up and like
it was
high fives, and it was just the weirdest shit ever. Like, you know, once I like stepped out of it, it made me a little uncomfortable. I must say.
You thought you was in Get Out?
Yeah, or like some other type of like social horror kind of thing. It was just bizarre. But like I can't stand, and I'm thinking about it. I think I kind of do the same thing. Whatever. I'm gonna just say it. Like when you at a party with like a whole bunch of different people and like a hood ass song come on, they like white people always turn to you and be like,
oh, any black song,
like any black song be like, this is the jam. Like, I love
Somebody
this song.
did tell me you like this song, right?
Yeah, we saw it. It's like he was in mid conversation with a girl. And was like, this song is amazing, right? Yeah.
It was so
I guess I like Ignition Remix.
But they always do
Billy
that.
Ocean just played, well, not Billy Ocean, but some white guy just played. He ain't asked me about that song at all. Like,
it's just always so weird. I don't know. Oh, another thing I peeped. Like, I don't know if it was the highness, but like I just felt like I was like super in my head. But it was this one couple, right? I think they was both Hispanic. It don't really matter, but
this nigga was so drunk. I think I know you're talking about the one that asked me about my shirt.
Yeah.
I don't even like people asking me about my clothes because if you're gonna go get the same shirt.
And he actually like, I'm trying to.
But it was weird because he was like, I see Illmatic shirts all the time, but I want a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, and he was very specific. Like he was almost gonna ask him like, what section of the store did you get it from? I'm going tomorrow. Like, let me know, whatever. But anyway, like he was drunk. Him and his girl was playing beer pong, and you can tell they take it kind of seriously, right? So they was like losing, kind of like they was playing beer pong, and he was like, this nigga became like a fucking NFL coach. Like he was like, all right, you're gonna get it together, right? Like we're gonna do this, and you know it was just weird. And she was kind of like, yeah, you know, I got it, whatever. But he was just so like forceful with stuff, like even with like them getting food, like. It was just weird, and it made me a little uncomfortable.
He said, I gotta go to the bathroom. Come with me.
She was looking like, what? First of all, this is like the 5th time you used the bathroom in like the last 5 minutes, so like, why I gotta keep going? And she was like, like, it was just really weird. And then like, he was like, they was up next. Somebody else was playing beer pong, and they was up next. And he like turned to Adolfo and was like, "You're doing so good, bro. Like, just such a good job." And I just felt like he was taking the game like really, really seriously.
Adolfo was losing like a motherfucker.
Adolfo always gets so mad when he loses and stuff, and he was mad at us because we didn't pay.
Yeah, I didn't even want to say that we was about to leave. He was like, "Y'all just come in. Y'all usually get a game and y'all start off and then y'all start getting good. You haven't played yet? Why y'all come and get the next game?" And I was like, "We about to leave." And he was like, "Oh." It's okay.
Adolfo got a new girl every
you gonna put his business? Okay, forget it.
I mean, he know.
He got a new chick every week. Every time we see him, it's a new girl.
And his diversity game is on 1,000.
None of the girls I've seen look like the girl I've seen.
I like it though.
Did you know him and... Hey, you probably don't even know.
What?
You know Eddie? You know who Adolfo was?
Who's that? Was that the one
the
with
two brothers? The one that said like, "Oh yeah, I'm the big brother."
Sophia's
too.
boyfriend.
But he's the smaller.
He's
okay.
bigger.
Yeah.
But Adolfo's skinny. He got like the beard and goatee. He's the older one.
Yeah. But he looks like the younger one.
Yeah.
I mean that.
It looked they could be around the same age.
They say it like people always think that he's the youngest or some shit.
True.
Like he always referred to it that way.
Yeah.
But like
I had some what is it called?
Absinthe.
Yeah. I had some of that.
Maybe it was fake. Like they hyped it up.
No, that shit burnt like fucking.
But you wasn't fucked up or nothing.
I mean, I only took one shot.
Stuff. Oh, okay.
If anything, you gotta take more than one. But that shit burnt like. That was the worst burning from alcohol I ever had in my life. Like I felt it going through my system.
Yeah, it's funny our party etiquette or whatever. Like I always know like I'm an introvert. Like I'm always like ready to go soon. So I gauge, you know, where we at by how Davon feels. You know what I mean? And then I just saw us like, you know, first we'd be like, you know, mad social, like we talk to everybody and, you know, all that stuff. And then it just started like, we kind of like absolve into ourselves and we like just start watching stuff. Like, I don't know. But it was funny. So I'm always happy when he like, you ready to go? Because I'm like, shit, you know, I've been ready for an hour.
I'm washed. I was tired as a motherfucker. It was like 4 a.m.
Yeah. That time went by really fast. Like I didn't feel like we was
We
there.
did it like 10:30.
Yeah. Still.
We didn't leave till like 3 though. That was a while.
Oh, we left at like 4.
We left at 4.
Oh.
It was 4. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed myself, and I always like being in like diverse situations, and you know the random awkward stuff that happen is, you know.
Oh, I did something. I felt so bad.
What the fuck did you do?
One of the guys, his name was Karosh, I think.
Oh, that's the guy.
And
that's the guy that was like, "Bye, Tony."
he when he introduced himself, he said, "My name's Karosh," and I was kind of drunk, and I was like, "Do you got a nickname?" I felt so rude.
You mad American?
Come on, bro. I ain't gonna remember that.
Karosh? I ain't gonna say that.
Karochi. I mean,
I was about to say that's what I thought he said at first. But it's him and it's this other white dude with like really weird hair. And you could tell that he thinks he's cool, but like he's not. And like Karosh, I put both of them into the thing because they always do the same thing. But it's this like awkward interaction where like I feel like, I don't know, I think he like grabbed my hand or something. He was like talking to me when we were sitting at the table.
Who, Karoch?
Yeah. And I'm always like, I don't know, I don't want to be mean, like, get the fuck away from me, because this is weird, so I just was like, alright, I'm gonna go get another meatball. And I just dipped out, and then he was sitting by Davon, and then, like, he just, I don't know, walked away, but I don't know, that stuff is like,
I don't give off no energy.
Something, I don't know, I guess I give off invited energy, I don't know where
just
people
be like,
be getting that from.
So you don't get out of me.
I don't know, it'd be weird, but yeah, I dipped out and went to go get another meatball.
Meatballs was delicious. If we gotta mention it one more time.
And Davon was being real black at first, like, you know, I don't fuck with everybody meatballs. I don't fuck with everybody food. He started eating them joints like, this shit good. Them
joints was good though.
They was. They did their thing.
Nah, it's be like, I don't want to be feeling like you could be that black person at the party that just be like eating everything and be like the stereotypical black person. Like, look at the black people. You know they always hungry.
First of all, that was me. Second of all, white people do that shit. But
I know, but we got a stigma on us. They don't have the stigma that we got. Like,
dude was camped out by the fucking.
Oh, what's in here? Let me tell you. Nigga read off the recipe and shit.
Yeah, I was eating everything. I had the munchies.
Nah, them cookies was, that's from that fucking weed we smoked.
I know.
The munchies was out of control.
I don't be smoking like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ate everything. A few times. Anyway, yeah, that was our New Year's, and you know I'm always the designated driver, so.
Yeah, it was fun.
Tony had a good time.
I know, you know, you be worried when you bring somebody into like a new, you know, environment. Like,
I was like, "Where's Tony?" I said,
"This nigga dipped off ASAP." Like he was like ripping and running. He was making moves.
I said, "Where's Tony?" 1,000 times.
I'm a Sagittarius. I know how to mingle.
I had to tell Davon that.
You didn't tell me that. She didn't care about your well-being.
I did.
I was checking for you in the bathroom.
She texted me.
That's because of me.
Oh.
I told you, like, he is Sagittarius, like, he do that, and that's why I wasn't worried.
Only thing I saw her doing was, like, not cop blocking, but she was, like, literally, like, I caught one glimpse of you, and you was looking at Tony, and while he was talking to the girl, and you was just, like, I was like, what are you doing? Get away. Why are you scoping like this?
I was uncock blocking a lot.
It was. That's why I don't think it was considered cock blocking. It was just more like, why are you so observant? Like,
because we talk about how like we feel like it's this Tony that we don't know about, like a Tony that's like not you know, how he acted around the family, like, is, you know.
Oh, you told me wild boy.
Because the situations he be getting into, like, it don't match up with Tony that we know at home. So I was trying to capture a glimpse of, like, Tony and his element.
Iceberg snum on the low.
I was trying to understand what was going on, you know. You know, somebody asked me if he was gay.
What?
Sophia.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't like a not you thinking.
Gay.
She was being, like, politically correct because.
This is society we live in.
Yeah, Alana is her friend, like the one that
her
was like,
friend.
you know, was trying to talk to you. So she was checking for Alana just to make sure, you know, Alana don't like, you know,
fall for the
put
okey-doke.
herself, you know, in a weird situation. So she just had to like kind of check that off. Like, not that she thought she was gay, but like, all right, he, you know, he good, right? He like girls, he's single. And I was like, you know, yeah.
It's like she sent Sophia to be the messenger.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Sophia just came out.
Cool.
Is he gay?
And I really like Alana, so, you know, I was, you know, checking out the situation.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot we gotta talk about.
Go! Randomize it. We should have one of those things where we like go in the bowl and pick a topic.
Yeah.
Like we have our topics, but go in the bowl and pick out the topic.
That'd be tight.
That would be tight.
That
could be like a new interesting thing on the podcast.
Yeah, could be.
Damn, that is tight.
I should have thought about it before.
Before the pre-production, we just thought about it.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna just get this out the way. We was talking about, we have so many conversations and like we get into debates and we
get into debates?
Yeah. All the time. All the time. I know, I was like, but yeah, I don't even remember what made us talk about this, but like, how the fuck do you make school interesting?
Well.
Oh, go ahead.
Have activities for people to do on each other. I mean, maybe
on each other.
Whoa! Pause.
I mean, maybe I'm just because I'm in medical school, but that is a lot of fun.
True.
And
was it the Baltimore thing? Did it stem from that too?
I can't remember.
I was just saying, like, schools don't have anything that's interesting anymore. Like, well, probably for the longest, but because I don't think they had anything interesting when I was in school either. Besides fashion class. I really liked fashion class. That was a good class. But that was Wise in its prime before it hit, like...
Yeah. And they decided to be like, well, we just getting by.
Yeah.
Y'all just going to do what y'all got to do and focus.
It was supposed to be a new innovative school with new curriculum and everything. But,
yeah,
just stuff that's more, I don't know, like, interesting. Because, like, I think fucking... Obviously, it ain't going to be as huge dip. But I think people are probably going to stop going to college soon out of high school and shit. Just to, like... I don't know, because we in a creative state, like, it's more creatives being born and graduating.
Entrepreneurs and stuff.
Yeah, like, people who, like, because if we seen it 10 years ago,
yeah,
imagine where it's at now. Like, they're like, I'm not, fucking Alonzo Ball about to start a whole league of people so they don't have to go to college and they could just go to
NBA?
After
overseas.
Play in his league and then be eligible for the NBA in, like, a year or two.
Crazy.
Which is... Because I'm still a fan of education.
Yeah.
Like, and not to say that school's the only place to get education, but it's like, you're probably better off, like, let's say if you got a studio in your house or anything in your house, but if you have to go to the studio, you put a little bit more into it. Like, you're not as like, I'll get around to it. I think that's how school is to some people. Like,
oh, okay.
Like, curriculum, like, if you're in college and you want to be, like, I don't know, fashion design, music engineer, or anything, like, going to that place, that building.
Yeah, where it's dedicated just to that.
It makes you get into a state of, like, giving your all into it instead of, like, oh, I got a laptop, I could create this. Because you can do shit on fucking everything now. Like, you don't need, you can find all the information you need. I guess people just got to get more focused if they are going to take
What I get from it is like, well, one, I think it's a big difference between obviously elementary, middle, high school, college. I think like elementary through like
school gets no love.
It doesn't. I think that most of school is teaching you how to follow directions and work with other people. Like, I think that's the main thing that you learn from elementary to high school. Like, I was just talking to somebody. I know. I was just talking to somebody in Uber. It was like, I don't know. He was talking about how he just used to cheat, and you know that's how he got through high school or whatever. But technically, it's a good skill to have because like most schools like they just care that your work is right. Like they don't care how you got to it, and that's part of my issue. Like one, I don't think that they don't accommodate different learning styles. Like some people might be really good at like I don't know something, and then they suck at taking tests, or like some people learn better hands on. Some people learn better just like listening. You know what I mean?
But
like
to be honest, you ain't got time for that.
You ain't got time to. That's the thing.
Well, how was you in school?
I'm 8. I wasn't done, but
it wasn't to cut you off.
I know. I'm sorry. I was just trying to keep my thought fresh. My bad. But the learning styles. It's like Einstein said. Like we judging people on like lion stuff, but we got fish, elephants, monkey. You know what I mean? Like it's all different type of people, and we like just judging them off of one style of thing or whatever. So I think one, like learning how to accommodate certain like different learning styles. I think kind of what you were talking about. I think you can start really young as far as like specialties. You know what I mean? Like if somebody, other countries do. Like they'll have like an elementary school where, and you know, America tried it. Like we have music class.
No,
we have like. I mean, not anymore because they cut the budget.
But I'm saying like if you. Go ahead. I'll come back.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
I think that you can start specializing way earlier. Like, I think kids show the type of stuff, like maybe not the exact thing, but like the type of stuff that they'll be like better at or like predisposed to or like, you know, the shit that they like personally. So I think taking that into account, which is kind of why, and I don't think me and Davon agree on this, I ain't gonna speak for you, but like, I like the idea of like... Did. I mean, because we had the conversation, I just didn't want to overstate it. But, like, I prefer, like, private schools or, like, not even private schools. Like, I prefer, like, progressive academies and stuff like that because I think they take into account stuff like that. Like, obviously, the social aspect of school, like I said, I think that's the most important thing you learn from, like, elementary to high school is, like, figuring out the world or whatever. Because, you know, my conspiracy theorist side, I think, like, school is just kind of like a from kid to 9 to 5 pipeline. Like they teach you only what you need to know to like get by or do the shit that they want you to learn. And that's kind of why I like college because like it's not as specialized in like what they teach you. Like you have a bigger choice of like what you actually want to learn, and they teach you like not the American. I mean, it's probably still the American version of stuff, but like it teaches you. I don't know, both sides of the issue. Like, I was reading something about how, it was saying that, like, a lot of, like, white parents and stuff think that their kids are learning diversity by going to a diverse school. But, like, for instance, like, if you tell the washed version of, like, the Jackie Robinson story or whatever, like, you know, he was a great baseball player, he just happened to be black. Like the white kids will have a better understanding if you talk about like what he had to go through racially, you know, and like how he came to how, you know, instead of being so politically correct or whatever, like the way that we I don't know, address stuff in school like creates the thought patterns that create, you know, the Trumps and you know, whatever. I don't know, basically just saying that to say I think that we need to pay attention to like how we're teaching kids and like actually makes school count for something more than just social skills.
I mean, that part's kind of on the teachers too, even though usually they don't give them a lot of wiggle room to
I know they
put their personal,
overworked and controlled with what they could teach.
I feel like all eyes like
because you know that I thought you had, you know.
Oh yeah.
Input.
It's a weird topic because first of all, public schools probably will never reach that aspect, right? Just because it's too many kids, especially in the inner cities. Are we speaking for just the inner cities, or are we speaking for just like America in general?
America in general, obviously worse in the inner cities, but
yeah, like I think it's probably too late to change curriculum in the public school in the inner city.
To me, I don't think it's changing curriculum because like we still need to learn math, English, you know, like that shit.
Yeah, but they only got. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
They got what? 7 hours? It ain't 8 hours. You ain't in school for 8 hours. That's a long ass time. You ain't in school for 8 hours.
8 to 3.
It's not 8 hours. It's like 6 hours.
7.
7. You go to lunch for 30 minutes. It's like 6.5 hours. Mm-hmm. But like, ain't got time to do that. Like they don't even have time to fucking teach you algebra. Like they barely can find a fucking teacher who could cover algebra class. Like they don't have time to.
My thing would be like, you know, if you got an hour class or whatever, instead of like standing up at the fucking board and like reading off the book, you can like play a game that teaches you, you know. Like
yeah, but then I think that goes with what Tony just said.
What?
Like.
Have the activities.
Huh?
You're talking about the activities?
Or just like
the control,
on the teacher. Like the teachers don't have control. Like they can't just say like, I'm a fucking teacher can get in trouble for playing you a movie that's like they don't got no fucking they have this. We hired you to do this. Now the good teachers can take that and bend it and make it like fun and blah blah blah. But how many teachers is that? Some people become teachers because fuck it. I know literally people who become teachers just because I don't really have a life goal right now. I'm be a teacher. I'm gonna be a substitute.
Those be the meanest, worst teachers though.
Actually, those be like some of the best ones.
Why the fuck you teaching if you don't like kids? Like that's the type of teachers I'm talking about. Like
true. There'd be times when the substitute came in and was a better teacher than my fucking regular teacher. Yeah. I'm saying like the people who like a substitute teacher, they don't live by the same guidelines as a teacher because they like work pro bono. Like
yeah, I think it's less like when I said.
I think it's the teachers who, not to cut you off, but I think it's the teachers who've been there. You know how you like, and we'll get to something that touches something like this later, but like, when you're in something so long and you don't see changes and you see like shit getting worse, like
you become jaded.
Yeah, you just jaded about the whole thing. So now you're like, I don't even, cause you can't like imagine like a teacher has to have a terrible job just from a connection and emotion standpoint, cause you meet these people every year. You meet new people every year, and you have this bond and blah, blah, blah. And then they just go. Next year is going to be a whole nother group of regime of kids you got to build. That's got to be fucking mentally tiring. Like, just energy-wise. Like, I got to meet a whole new 15 new students every year. Top of that, this shit changing every fucking period. So every 45 minutes, I gotta deal with another 15 kids that's totally different personalities from you. That shit's gotta be hectic, like, for any teacher. Like, not saying that's their excuse or whatever, but that shit gotta be mentally draining also.
What I was gonna say was, like, you know, when I talk about the changes and how, like, you teach people, like, I think it's a system thing and not on the teacher. Like, right now, there was and it kind of started, like, in my year. Like, remember when, like, all of a sudden you had to pass the HSA to graduate high school?
Yeah, mine was the year before.
Yeah, like, he was, you know, he was good. Like, but my class was the first class, you know, 2009 in Maryland, that, like, the kids had to pass the HSA to graduate high school. So our year was filled with, like, them literally teaching us to pass the test and not really teaching us to, like, you know, the shit that was actually in the book.
That's how life works, though.
I mean, yeah, but I think obviously it failed because they stopped making the kids have to pass the HSA because so
they
many
told
people.
Us, they shouldn't have told us.
Huh?
Like, well, I'm gonna get to that. But in my generation, not my generation, but the year before, they told us, like, y'all don't have to pass this test.
Told y'all.
Yeah. And then it was like, y'all ain't got to pass this test to graduate. So I went in there like, I don't give a fuck about this test. Like, give me my 50-cent poster. Like, and then they told y'all, and then it worked the opposite. Like, it was too much pressure. Like, how you expect fucking 400 kids to pass an HSA to graduate? Like,
but to me,
statistically, that's just not going to work.
Yeah, like, and I mean,
then your graduation rate drops. Then your funding drops because you're not getting no How you gonna have 400 seniors and 120 graduate?
Yeah.
Your school is terrible. So what the county gonna do is like, we're not giving y'all no more money for funding because y'all can't even get this shit right.
Which is why they changed the HSA shit. But it also showed you that like we really wasn't learning stuff. Like, cause
I don't even think they care about that aspect.
I know.
I think it was some other shit. It was I think some nigga got like, it was some deal or some back office type shit or like this test. Some money was transferred or something because that doesn't even make sense. Like, why would you have to? If I go through 4 years of high school, I don't know. I get it. Like you take a test to graduate, but it's like you can't bring back shit from when I was in the fall of 9th grade to pass on a fucking 12th grade test. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, but if you really learned it, it would be something that was like internalized. It like.
But they know you did it.
I know. I mean,
it's just like
that's the whole issue. Obviously,
if we brushed over this in fucking fall of my freshman year, like I'm not. It's just not gonna happen. Like that's 3 years. I forget shit yesterday. Like repetition is the father of learning. If I'm not gonna keep
but
doing it, I'm not gonna
the difference to me, right, is like, well, obviously we was learned to like. They taught us to pass the test or whatever, but like in middle school, right? Like some of my best teachers, like I still remember to this day, like what they taught me. Like I had this really good French teacher, and she was also my dance teacher, whatever. But she taught me she taught like stuff in French with songs that was like some dope ass songs, like Lundi, 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 Marty, Marty, and I remember that shit to this day. So I feel like, if you're a really good teacher, you know how to teach something to where like people internalize it and not just like, memorize the answers to the test. You know what I mean? Because that's not real learning. And I think the HSA part was like they tried to find a way to like standardize learning because obviously you had people in the system that are doing really good, people in the system that are doing really bad. So it's a question of like, how do we get everybody on the same page? And I think they thought the answer was the HSA, but obviously they was like completely wrong. Like so many of my friends got taken out by that shit and like just didn't graduate like because of that shit.
What do you mean standards of learning?
What I was saying
well, how could they create that? Like
I know, I mean they failed, they did it. I think that's what they did with the HSA. Like, I was telling Tony, like, some people did really good, some people did really bad. So they was like, well, if we just make sure that every single teacher focuses on this, then we can make sure that everybody does the same.
And what about the people that's bad on tests?
Yeah,
I'm terrible at tests. Like, just bad. Like, just like second guessing and it's like, I don't know. Like I was never really good at tests.
I hate somebody sitting and reading to me, but like I always learned, like I might not have understood it in class, but when I went home and like understood it for myself, and like I always had to apply it to something else. You know what I mean? Like make a real life situation out of it, and not like the way that the book was given to you. And I always found my understanding on my own, and like not from the teacher, because I don't know. I just think different.
I don't even think I ever cared that much about
what you mean?
Like
if you didn't understand it, you just said fuck it.
Yeah. But I was a good student though. I still made honor roll.
Yeah, because
that shows you how fucked up the system
is. That's what I'm talking about.
Like,
what you learn in high school is life skills. You figured out how to fix a problem. I
had to say that to a family member before. Cause like in my family, I am smart.
Yeah.
But like back then, they thought I was like this like really smart person in school and shit, because I always made honor roll, and my mother's fucking Tina, and she's like a fucking DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
She's fucking DJ Khaled and piping her kid up with grades and shit. So like I had to like tell them like, because I went to like a community college out of just for my mother and shit, and my older cousin him, she was like, don't you want to go to a university or blah 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 and like get out of like just something. I was like. To be truthfully honest with you, I don't like school. Like, I don't like the whole institute of school. Like, in school, I understood what had to be done to appease, I guess, adults in a way.
Yeah.
Like, because what you gonna say? Like, if a kid make honor roll, you can't say, like, what can you say? Like, obviously, you good at school or something. I don't know. Like, it's...
You did enough.
Yeah, like, that's how you keep it. I made honor roll so much, my mother didn't even look at my report cards anymore. Like, from my fucking 11th through 12th grade year, probably 10th. She never even looked at my report cards. Like, I don't even know if them shits ever made it home. Like, cause I somebody else's address.
Yeah.
Like, you can't give me my report card. I'm like, get this to your mother. Like, Shannon and shit. Make sure you
real.
Nah, I would do shit like in elementary, like if you failed the test and you had to get it like your parents' signature, I would wait till Monday morning before she left for work. Like, oh shit. Mom, I forgot. She done bought me Jordans. We done went to TGI Fridays. Chilling. I got on my new kick. Oh, Mom, I forgot. Can you sign this? What's this? Test I failed. She gonna have time to lecture me before she go to work? Hell no. Girl, you gonna be late, ain't you? Shit. I gotta catch my butt.
I was my own fucking person. Like, I remember I got like a B on the progress report or whatever, and I was like losing it on the bus, like mad. I ripped it up and like
I get it.
balled it up. I still show my mom the balled up version. I told her what I did.
She's probably like, okay.
I was just always really hard.
Do better next time, Tommy.
I feel like that's how my parents was always. Like, the fuck? I was very, I don't know, wound up.
Over grades.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking back on it. Looking back on that, do you feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, was it worth it?
Yeah,
to feel that strongly about your grades and stuff?
Yeah, because I think it would have been anything. Like, if it's not grades, then it's like my dance career. Yeah, like it just happened to be school at the time. Like, it's part of my personality. Like, I'm super hard on myself. Like, I have like very high expectations for even for like the MTV show, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I can talk about this because
probably can't.
But I'm just talking about how I feel about it. It wasn't anything. But it was something, you know, a challenge or whatever, and like, you know, I got called out, and they were like, I was really upset because I don't know, I just made a choice that I felt like was beneath me or whatever, and it was good enough obviously for me to still be called out, but I was so upset with myself, like they was confused, like why the fuck are you looking like that? Like you made it to the next round, the fuck are you doing? And my thing is like, I feel like I'm so great that if I'm not at my greatest at any given moment, it's not good enough. So, like, I even dance growing up, like, you know, you would come off stage and people were like, oh my gosh, you did such a great job. But if I didn't feel like I didn't do a great job, it's like, I just didn't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, nothing nobody can say to me can make me, you know, if I'm not behind my, you know, my effort or whatever. Like, it's nothing, like, nobody can hype me up. So, I like that about myself because, like, one, it always keeps me just, like, striving for greatness. Two, like, I don't need other people's validation, you know, to when I feel like it's good. Like it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks, good or bad.
Has anyone validation ever, I guess, served a purpose? Like, did it?
Yeah, I think.
Like, is it like your idol's validation?
Yeah, and I talk to my mom about this all the time, but like, and it's kind of rude if you want to think about it. But if it's somebody that I think is good, thinks I'm good, then it weighs more than like somebody that has a lower standard. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, it would take somebody that like I think is like, you know, a fucking mentor, or you know, like something like that.
Nigga, what do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what could you possibly know?
But the only bad thing about moving like that is like,
still missing your blessings.
Kinda like it's almost like not being grateful for where I am. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like.
And that shit still gets to you. Like,
exactly.
Even the person that you say, like, nigga, what do you know? That move was amazing. Like, let's say somebody down when he moves, but they don't know shit about that. And you're like, nigga, what do you know? That should have stayed with you longer than your fucking idol.
That's true.
Congratulating you. Like,
and that's the bad part of, like, being, that's totally true. Like, it keeps me from, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you could get down on yourself because you have such a high standard for yourself when you might, you know, if you look at the bigger picture, like you're doing really good, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like where we would talk about like the first and second, you know, which, you know, was a weird conversation for me because like I'm not okay with not first place, you know what I mean? But but you know, being second instead of 20th is still an accomplishment. Like I can't process it that way, but like if you just look at the bigger picture, you know, it's something, you know what I mean? But I don't know. So for me, I like that about my, like, even though it kind of backfired, because I know my high school year, like I had this really big, I don't know, like breakthrough kind of thing. Like I worked my hardest. I was like, I did everything and I still fell short of my goal, which was, you know, valedictorian. And it just made me just kind of sit back and try to figure out what I was doing it for. And I figured out that like, that was my version of like, I don't know, you got a fat ass so you get attention. Like my thing, like the thing that made me feel good about myself was like how smart I was. And so like it was like this big moment of like, I'm doing this for other people's love or, you know, like validation, or like I'm not even really doing this for myself. Like good grades to me was like, people love me, like I'm, you know, I'm doing good, like I'm loved, and you know what I mean.
Hashtag I need love too.
Yeah, so like obviously now it's switched over to like dance, and I even had a thing with that, like the jobs were the validation. Like I didn't really care about like, you know, people saying like, oh my god, you're so good, but like now it's like, you know, like I want my resume on point, and now my resume is stacked, and I'm just like, well, you know, I don't need this job validation anymore. You know, I'm looking at other stuff. So, I don't know. I just think it's always going to be a part of me that is like, I don't know, looking to the next thing to be great. But we all do need to like learn how to like be grateful for like where we're at right now. Yeah, and what we have. So you can like, you know, more stuff comes to you. That was mad deep.
More life for your head top.
What, Tony?
I get that too. Where you want to do it. Like eventually you just want to do it for yourself to prove yourself, and you get, and like nobody can say something. Yeah. Like if I get a B on a test, and then I'm like, oh, and then somebody come up, I'm like, man, you got a B. Yeah, look, I got a D. Yeah. I was like, but like, that's not gonna happen to me.
The fuck?
That's not an option.
Do I care? Yeah, it's, you know, it's a lot of people that like live off that though. Like that's social media in itself. Like, I don't know, when I think about the stuff that I post, like, I could post, like, I might have 1 million pictures on my phone that would get so many likes, but if I don't like it, I'm not going to post it. Like, I don't care just because I know people's going to like this. Like, if I don't fucking like it, I don't know, I'm not going to post it, but...
What if they shut down Instagram? What would people do?
Blah! Everything's on fire!
You in the world in panic?
Fall. Hell yeah.
You instance in the panic? I would do that why haven't a hacker do that? I would fucking shut down Instagram for like 24 hours.
Sick.
Yeah.
People would lose their minds.
As an experiment. So scientists do this shit all the time.
I know.
It's an
Somebody deactivated Trump's Twitter for like an hour or something, and that shit was like really big.
Wasn't good enough. It's hard to hack a fucking president shit for an hour and shit. That's probably really
It was somebody that worked at Twitter, and it was like their last day, so they was like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck Trump. I'm gonna do this. La, 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 la.
I want to mess with president anything.
You scared? I don't know, man. It's a lot of stuff like that. Like, you know, if the banks fucking went down, like, you know how fast our fucking society would break down?
Yeah, we've seen it before. Niggas jump out windows.
Yeah. Or if the fucking electric grid went down. That's the type of shit that I've
seen it before. The fear of the Walking Dead. Say no.
I mean, for real though, like that's how it would be.
Isn't that the crazy thing about life? Like we can have all these like, because everything just comes back around. Like no matter how far we go, it's like a fucking you know those little. This is so stupid example, but it's the first thing that popped in my head. You know those little paddles, put the ball on and shit. Like no matter how far you pull that, it could pop. Let's say we have a really strong bang on it. No matter how far you pull that shit, like. It's still going, once you let it go, it's still going to snap back to what it was at the beginning. Meaning to say, like, everything that's been done is always going to come back. So no matter how far we advance in technology and everything, we can have, like, the greatest hack security, everything. Like, we can move perfect as possible, but one little flaw, or let go, or slip up, can bring shit right back to fucking... Like before modernized times.
Exactly.
Like we could be really some savages out there.
I'm about to say.
Take Instagram away from us and we will riot. You think you thought fucking you thought it was crazy when Black Lives Matter like rioted. Wait till you take away Instagram away from America or the world. Them niggas gonna fucking you wanna get Trump assassinated? That'll do it.
So that shit that shit scares the fuck out of me, you know, when I was like I used to be I don't know, a pre-doomsday prepper. You know what I mean? But if you really understand how fast society would break down if we had like an electric grid fucking attack or like the banks went down, like shit would go bad so fast, and like we don't think about the shit or be prepared for the shit. Like what if you like you need to get away, you can't fucking get gas, you gotta like get all your fucking the shit essentials that you would need. Like what the fuck is essentials? Like I literally have a go bag. Like it ain't shit compared to like what it should be. But I don't know. I don't know. It's in my nature. Like I think about stuff like that all the time. Like obviously I don't want anything like that to happen. Like it's always something in the like conspiracy theorists.
Well, I don't refer because I don't think about that shit at all. Like
I'll say like it'll be a tool that like I have this tool where it's like it's scissors, it's a fucking screwdriver, it's a fucking measuring thing, like it's something, and I wouldn't use it on a daily day. On a day-to-day basis, I put that shit in the go bag. Like you need fucking warm clothes, you need fucking fire or like wire or just random shit that like it's so small you don't think to need it, but like if shit go down you're not gonna be able to have this stuff. But I don't know, and that's another reason why I keep the cooler in the trunk. But anyway,
I thought that was just to harvest dead people's organs.
That too. I got a fucking weather radio and a fucking battery operated lantern in my fucking trunk. You know what I mean? Like it's, I don't know. It's my thing is like, what's the worst? Like if nothing ever happened, like the worst is I have this extra stuff, that I don't use. If something does happen, then like. Yeah, but I think people like...
It's being prepared, since you believe in energy and shit. Mm-hmm. Being prepared like that, does it attract? You don't think you're attracting that
I do,
by
which
preparing?
I do think that, which is why I kind of like laid off of it. Like, and it kind of started a little bit before, but it got real when I was pregnant. Like where obviously it makes me want to like protect my child way harder, but you switch the idea of like I can't even put my energy towards this. I got like way more realist stuff that's like right now. If something is to happen, it's not right now, so I'm just gonna focus on right now. But that is, I think that's really valid, and why I stopped being so hard on it or looking into it that much. Like I don't know. I look at more of the like money and political conspiracies now than like the false flag events or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think I got to a point, it's kind of sad, but I'm like, I don't know, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Like, I don't know, it's weird.
Tony, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you lost your youth yet?
My youth?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think part of it's because I haven't had a child. And
True.
I still see the best of people.
More in a way of like, what's the way I could describe this?
I don't know, like your teenage passions.
Oh yeah, like that. Like the angst that teenagers have, like that I can conquer the world kind of thing. Like how all teenagers like have that thought, like I'm gonna change the world kind of thing. This sounds so like.
Yeah.
But
have you lost all hope in humanity?
Because we were talking about it. We were watching this documentary on HBO.
Freddie Gray.
Yeah, it's actually a good.
It was.
It's actually a good documentary. It's on HBO. But it was a girl on there who was like, she was in high school, had to be like 17, 16, something like that. But she was investing all her energy into
protesting Freddie Gray's the
wrongful murder.
Yeah.
So, mind you, she's still in high school and blah, blah, blah. And her mother was like, it's always funny to see, like, the older person. It's always funny to see the old head and the youth interact. Yeah. Because you could literally see, like, I don't know, it's like...
almost like the trajectory of life. And like
when you see the guy progress, like the mammal and shit. But she was telling her, basically, like, your grades are slipping. Like, you focusing too much time on this. And there was another guy on there, too, that another older head talked to. And he was, like, a protester.
And he kept getting
arrested. Yeah. And the old lady, like, was outside. It was, like, it was New Year's.
Yeah.
And then she was like, yo, I get what you trying to do. Black lady. She seemed sensible. I wouldn't say that But she was just, like, basically, like, nigga, don't waste the prime of your life or losing your whole life over Baltimore. Because Baltimore basically would never do that. What I got from it.
Yeah.
paraphrasing to the utmost extent. But what I got from her, she was like, don't give all your life to Baltimore, because Baltimore would never give its life to you. In any way possible. But it was like, it brought up the question, like, damn, isn't it like crazy that every teenager or just youth reaches that point where it's like, because at the end of the documentary, the girl, she ended up just like, fuck protesting, I'm gonna be an artist.
Too much energy.
I write poetry now.
I'm gonna put my shit into like art and not like this angry.
On the front line, because you know, it's a lot of anger that comes with teenagers. Exactly. Not only are you fighting your own, I'm trying to figure out who I am. Yeah. Like, I don't think that person can lead the charge of not changing the world, but just that march of like, I don't know. Can a leader be a person that doesn't know themselves?
Yeah.
They can?
I think that because, not the best leader, but the most revolutionary people, and I'm kind of talking about this from experience a little bit, but not knowing your purpose makes you go harder in something you think is your purpose. So if could be, I know it's always a breaking point. Like that's kind of what I was gonna say next. But like it takes that, like the person that's like Baltimore is not gonna fight for you. Like that person is not gonna like change the stuff.
Go ahead, finish it.
Like the person that's like, this is unacceptable. Like I can't even like think like this shit makes me so upset. The D-rays of the world. You know what I mean? Like I think you have to be so discontent, and I think part of that is like how you feel about yourself, or like, you know, where you are in your journey to know yourself. Like the discontent, personally, I think is what makes people go so hard for like events or causes. You know what I mean? Because like what I experience is that like this cause or whatever is gonna affect who I can be when I'm grown. Or like the type of stuff that I can enjoy, or like I'll be specific because like I went through this process or whatever like twice. The first one was like when like I started researching like the Illuminati and the Bilderberg group and you know all that shit. Like it was just
every
like
teenager's.
Oh my god, that's the first. Yeah, that's always 101. Like that's the
Bugs
first.
Bunny lied to me the whole time.
Yeah, like that's the first step or whatever. And like I was in this thing where I didn't even know if I wanted to participate in society because of like all the stuff that I learned about like America, you know, all that stuff. And like it made me so upset, and I was just like constantly looking up stuff, and like I was like a Twitter warrior type shit. Like anytime somebody would post something that was like, you know, sheepish or you know like sleep, like not woke. Yeah, like I would always like, you know, combat the shit and like go back and forth and like, you know, try to fucking make people know and shit. And like it was so important to me because I felt like this has to change for me to be the adult that I want to be, or like live the life that I want to be. And it was like such this big thing. And then it got to the point where like I was actually about to like enter society and do the shit. Like so like for instance, the stuff with music, or like, you know, artists being the fucking devil, or you know, like MK Ultra and shit like that. So like I'm in my head, I'm about to enter this career of like dancing for artists, dancing for big fucking.
It just wouldn't work.
Yeah, so like I had to ask myself, like, am I not gonna do what I want to do because of like the stuff that I learned about, you know, the industry or whatever. And it was a big moment. I'm like, fuck that. Like I'm about to be a professional dancer. Like even if it is, and this is how I made myself feel better. Like even if that is true, like I believe in myself enough to like keep it. Yeah, be stronger than that. Like keep it away from me, or like.
My bad. That was me.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know, that was the first thing, and it was kind of like, well, whatever, fuck the Illuminati, fuck this.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Do you think, because we're talking about the teenage, with the youth and the old head leadership qualities in a way, I think a leader would be that teenager who goes through that and overcome it. I don't think that teenager could be that lead, the youth could be that leader. Like Tanya couldn't be the leader at the learning about the Illuminati phase and cracking shit, or just that drive that give you like, I can change the world and shit. That's why we got like, that's why I fuck with Tupac. This nigga said, he never said I can change the world or I'm gonna change the world. He said I will spark the brain that does change the world. Cause this nigga, I was having a comment. He's it's good to have just a random Tupac appreciation moment. But me and JT was talking about it, and we were talking about how this is totally, not even totally off the subject, but he died at like 25. His time in the light that we knew Tupac was from what, like 92 to 96?
Right.
He had 4 years. He lived a lifetime in 4 years that none of us can never even imagine or fathom of living. Yeah. But in that 4 years, that nigga went from the angriest black guy with knowledge, you know, to like, oh, because I look at Tupac like that. Like the youth that thinks like, you know, the system all fucked up, blah, 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 revolution. Like, fuck this shit. Fuck strictly for my niggas. Yeah. The thug life, you know what I mean? And then, like, it took that incarceration for him to realize. Because the thing about the youth, like the lady said to him, Baltimore would never fight for you as much as you would fight for Baltimore. Meaning, you could be the leader of this pack of youth. Mm-hmm. But that's a scary pack to be a leader of. Because they don't even know what they want. Like, they're like a premature... People don't know what they want at fucking 30. Like... But to have the pack of premature adults and you're the ringleader of, that's why he said thug life is dangerous. Yeah. Thug life needs to die. Like he says this after he goes through his most traumatic moment, being shot. The people that he were riding for wanted to kill him and didn't believe in him. Yeah. And he was like, well, if y'all don't think, he's like, nigga, how can y'all believe I fucking will rape a female when I made these records? You know who I am. But if y'all keep treating me like this, you won't get another Keep Your Head Up. Yeah. You won't get another Dear Mama. You won't get it. Because the real shit is, nigga, I don't have to care. And that's the way he came out, like, after jail. Like, nigga, I don't have to care about y'all. Like, caring about y'all got me in the worst state of my life. So what I'm going to do from now, like, this is the craziness of a leader. You're like, I'm gonna ride for me and my family and my shit, and y'all gonna. When he did that, this nigga became the biggest ever. He gets a bigger crowd of followership, and it's weird, but like, once the nigga became the man that he was supposed to be at 25, yeah. Mm-hmm. 25, this nigga was like, bro, I know the power I have now, yeah, and I know that it's dangerous. Mm-hmm. So let me deflect it really fast, yeah. Because even when y'all didn't even appreciate. And even the thing about being a leader and a hero, you're always going to be the sacrificial lamb.
I wanted to touch on that. One, I'm getting teary-eyed because, like, I've always identified with Tupac, like, in all his, you know, in all his evolution. And, like, it happened to me, like, with Seize the Dance. Yeah. Like, my thing was... change the whole fucking industry in DC. Like, in dance, like, everybody does crews and... you know, companies and stuff, but it's no fucking professional work. So my thing is like, we are mad talented. Yeah, like it could be the site for the DC dance industry, whatever. Because when DC dancers go to other states, they kill the game because we so fucking raw and like hungry. You know what I mean? So it's not like we don't have the talent. We just need the system, right? So my revolutionary brain, whatever. Like I literally only lived out in in California for maybe like 1 or 2 years or whatever. Like, I didn't even have my feet wet yet. But I'm like, I can go.
Still young angst.
Yeah, like, I can go fucking help, the people that was in the situation that, I was in, like, put my home on, whatever. When I tell you, when that shit went down and the way it went down, like, 2 niggas got shot at a fucking... somebody renting the space at my fucking studio. It wasn't even what the studio was for. Like, it was some side shit because I needed money because it was changing. I changed the industry. Like, not changed the industry. I changed it. It changed too fast. Like, niggas wasn't ready. You know what I mean? Like,
go ahead.
So I can't even explain how angry I was. Like, I felt burnt by the whole DC could kiss my ass. Like, I was so
back home now.
It really is. Like, I can't even be in that energy no more. Like, obviously I'm a little bit further on my path than I was then, but like I was Tupac. Like, I would spit on everybody if I talked to them in that time. Like, I was so fucking pissed off and angry because I knew what I wanted to.
Burn you.
My own people burned me. Like, I can't even explain. Like, I can't even explain like how upset I was. Like I felt lost. Like I was fucked up. But as soon as I fucking went back to like California and started thinking about myself, fuck the studio, fuck y'all. Like I'm like, how the fuck I'm gonna give back when I haven't even like got my own shit yet? Unless you change that. I know. I got back to California, and when I tell you I've been working consistently like ever since. Like it was the biggest change ever. But like I lived that Tupac shit. Like I was awesome. Fuck everybody. Like I'm gonna get my own shit. Obviously I'm in a way better like place before that. But what I wanted to say towards what you were saying, like how the old Tupac can't lead or whatever. Also,
I mean, he can lead.
No, I know what you mean. Like,
it won't be effective.
It's the when you come out on the other side when it's way more effective.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think about it just with youth. I think about it like the leaders and the followers. I think the followers always it takes the leader to tell them what they want. You know what I mean? Like they're youthful, and you know, no matter how old you are, like if you're in the follower group, you don't fucking know what you want. Like, you know how you feel, you know something like you don't want, but you don't know what you want. And it takes that leader to like, you know, like kind of live in it and stew it until like, we want food, you know.
Never, because you could never, and that's where, not to cut you off, but that's where the people who make products go wrong, whether it be dance, whether it be music, whether it be movies or anything, entertainment, anything. When you listen to the consumer, that's when you always go wrong.
Exactly.
Because you're the like, how can you listen? I get it. Like, they're your consumer. They buy your product. Constituents. So it'd be nice to hear what they think at certain points, and maybe you could change a little, blah blah blah. But like, they don't know. Like, they waiting for you. You think Apple is like, Apple don't give a shit about anything that we want them to change.
Right, exactly.
Who asked for this? Who asked for just the fucking, not the
if they really was in tune with us, they would know that was some bullshit. And
but you know what's going to happen? You know how tight the way the world works? The niggas like, nah, we the tastemakers. So you know what we're going to do? All our phones going to have this. Yeah. And y'all got to get these headphones and adapters.
Yeah. And then y'all going to love it.
And then, on top of that, fuck that. We don't even want headphones with strings no more. We got these AirPods. Yeah. They're $199, and you're gonna want these because you know why? In 2 years, we're not giving no more headphones with our phones. Like, so how you gonna listen to your music? This is not even gonna matter. Like they're telling us, like this is not gonna matter. We're going to Bluetooth. Like we're not even thinking about. Oh, Instagram, you want us to put your shit back in chronological order? No, no, nigga. I know what you want to see, right? You clicking on it, I see it. Like. So are the consumers just like lying to themselves?
I think so. I think it's
or
like,
are the tastemakers naive?
What I was gonna say is like it depends because if he like when you said that I thought about Eminem. Like this nigga switched up because of what he like. I think that the Eminem
always gets work.
I know.
He tried to ball so bad. He's working his way in every episode. Go ahead.
I think that Eminem's album was going a different direction before that BET. Let me talk about I know we talked about this. Okay, but I was saying that to say like that shows you that Eminem and his team don't know what the fuck people like about Eminem because if you thought that shit like it wasn't that we wanted that from Eminem, like that was just one good moment. We still want fucking Eminem, but he's so or they're so like not in tune with consumers that
we should just sit on
we should do that. Like that's why they like Eminem. It's confusing
because when I went to
go ahead,
you brought it up. Yeah. The whole promo for Eminem new album was like this medical, like
it was dope as fuck.
It was like this pharmacy shit, like revival. You know how like those medicine commercials come on, like infomercials come on in the middle of the night, and they just like just random, and they had like side effects. It was really thought put into this marketing. It was
dope as fuck, and that was the album cover.
That was the album, like the album cover. Now he did the BT shit. The album cover is American flag with Eminem on it.
We don't want that.
You think Eminem really cares about America?
No.
No. I don't. And I said this, maybe it was last episode or episode before, that I told you that fucking niggas feed off, I don't know, sadness in a way. Like, we love sadness. Like, we love to see. Because that's what America does. We like to build you up, break you down, and build you up again. Like, that's the American way. That's the real American way. Like, that's why it's bankruptcy existed. Like, that's why, like, we love for you to be this big person and then we trash you and bring you down, and then you gotta revive yourself to go back up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the fucking American way.
And so to bring it back, like, I think there's a difference between a tastemaker and
that's why Kanye is amazing.
I just put it down because I did.
She did.
I was trying to figure out the analogy. It's like the tastemaker, the apple, or the person that's like, all right, everybody's making this song, let me make this song because I know it's going to work. Like, I don't know what to call that, but it's like the Kanye's versus like these new artists that are just going with the trend. And what I was going to say with that is like the tastemakers are the ones that know what they're doing, they're important. The other people are the ones that are naive. You know what I mean? Because we essentially talked about the same thing. Like, Apple could have, like, that could have backfired so hard, like the Eminem thing did. But
it did,
because they're so, I know, but because
so
they're so smart and
yeah.
ahead of the game, like, they were just ahead. Like, we just had to catch up. Yeah. And like with the Eminem shit, we're never gonna catch up to that. We're never gonna fuck with that. It's just not gonna be good because like they were naive. So I don't know what the name for that person is, but it's a tastemaker. It's the Kanye and it's the whoever else that just go with like what they think is hot now.
Oh, corporate America.
Yeah, they don't know shit.
No.
Like,
but okay. Okay.
Shit, this is
I was reading. I'm not reading, but it was a tweet, and it was this guy. I have it on my phone still, but I don't want to play it because it's too long. But it was basically like record companies. So back in the day, record companies, you know how record industry started, right? No, that's not. That's me. You know how record industry started, right? It was this.
It's still.
It was niggas had vinyl industries, not vinyl industry, but record player industries and shit. They had to sell their record players. They had to have records. So they was like, oh, let me make a record company, and then I can make people who make songs. I can sell vinyls and I can sell my record player. So that's how record companies start. Boom, boom, boom. So. Back in the day, it was old Jewish people, boom, 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 boom. They didn't know anything about new hip shit. They didn't know about Chuck Berry. They didn't know about Ray Charles. They didn't know about, no, nothing. Right. Nothing hip, nothing cool, nothing. They just knew, they saw still be singing fucking, I don't know, whatever white shit was popping in the 40s. But.
The Beach Boys.
They wasn't even there yet.
Oh, you said the 40s?
Yeah, the 40s, 50s. 50s. Let's go with the 50s.
Okay.
But, okay. So because you just said something about corporate America.
Yeah.
Corporate America, the guys who ran the record companies, the old guys, right? They didn't know anything about music, but they knew something could be good. Like they see Ray Charles and they was like, I don't understand this, but let's try it.
Yeah.
The problem with the video I was watching is like, the problem with the music industry is we start hiring hipsters. We start hiring hippies. Because hipster wasn't even a thing yet. We started hiring hippies because we wanted people in the record company that were cool.
Yeah.
We wanted people who
in the know.
That were in the And when those people came into the record industry, it ruined it. Because then they were more the people that were like, the hipsters were the ones that were saying, nah, that's not cool. That never work. And they wouldn't put it out.
Right.
Instead of the old corporate guy who was like, who don't know nothing about nothing, was like, fuck it, put it out.
Yeah.
Georgia by Ray Charles. Let's see. I don't know anything about it, but let's just see if it works.
Yeah.
He was better off as a leader than the hippie who was supposed to be in tune with the culture and everything.
Yeah.
That's amazing, right?
It's smarter.
You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
Sense?
What I was saying is like, it's delegating. Like, a good leader knows what he's good at, what this person's good at, what this person's good at, and they let them do their job.
Like, how can a hipster tell Ray Charles? How can a fucking, I'm gonna bring it to today's time. Think of Def Jam and Frank Ocean. How can a hipster tell Frank Ocean your music's not good? You can't. You just gotta put it out.
Yeah.
Like, Frank Ocean is not music that it's not fucking Flow Rider, dude. Like, it's not something that you can just listen to and know what it is. It's something that touches people in a different way. Like, you just don't know. Yeah. If I heard Frank Ocean music before it dropped, I just wouldn't know as a record company. I'd just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna put it out because you're just talented.
Exactly.
Ray Charles is just talented.
Exactly.
The Beatles are just talented. Kanye West is just talented. If you could sign Kanye to do anything to your company, Why you think Adidas signed Kanye? They didn't see no fucking sketches. They didn't see no. They know that this nigga is fucking talented. Whatever he does, he gets attention and he's talented. We cannot. What did everybody say about Kanye? He's a jackass, but he's talented.
Yeah.
Like, makes Kanye. The Kanye was the fuck up. He fucked up the world because he was like, he's the first jackass or just human who was actually really good.
Yeah. And
realized he was really that good.
Yep.
All our other leaders, they don't even realize that they're good. We talked about this.
They have a complex. Yeah.
Andre 3000. They don't even realize that they're good. Kanye's the first artist who realized I'm really this good and I have power over these people. Watch this. So he'll get on radio and say, all the black people in Atlanta don't go to Louis Vuitton store today. And that's why Louis Vuitton need to take a meeting with me. Yeah. You know how ballsy that is?
Or to say George Bush don't care
about black people. Or anything else. Taylor Swift doesn't deserve this video award over Beyonce's Single Ladies. He has to go on stage and say, yo, is anybody else am I the only one tripping? Because Single Ladies is Single Ladies. When I say Single Ladies, you can see Single Ladies video in your head. If I say Taylor Swift, you don't know what video she even beat Single Ladies for.
Yeah, you don't. That's true.
I see this every time I think of Single Ladies.
Exactly.
Iconic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tastemakers and consumers.
Two things. That reminds me of Dave Chapelle, which I want to get into a little later.
Okay. We want to pause on that. Okay.
Yeah. Just real quick. My side of that about the corporate side of music, right? And I was just talking to my mom about this. Like, I don't fucking make dance videos no more. And
I don't think dancers should make dance videos.
The reason why is, one, because like now it's this dumb thing that I refuse to ever do, but it's like this, what's popular now is this mix between a comedy skit and a dance video. And to me it's the dumbest shit I ever
I haven't seen that.
You have, I'm gonna show you, but you have, but it's just so like I'm just in the shit, so I like see it, whatever. I will never do that shit. And like the reason why I don't make dance videos because the record labels, they literally came after dancers. When I tell you,
they come after everybody.
Like I know, but like to me, dance is super important because so like take Millennium Dance. People that don't dance, they come they're reporting on these classes on like billboards and like US weeklies and shit like this. Like the dance class has become so fucking like popular. They started they threatened the record industry. So like that's why you can't have music on YouTube. But hold on, like
I want to ask you a question.
Okay. Covers don't get taken down, but dance videos get taken down because they have so much power now. The records labels like we can't control this. Like we don't have this, and so they started taking down dancers' videos, not knowing that dancers fucking put people onto songs. Like that's such a
I got a question, but go ahead.
Like if you go down the comments of these videos that have 300 million views and shit like that, everybody's like, what song is this? What song is this? What song is this? You know what I mean? Or one song drop and then everybody start dancing to it. Everybody want to know what it is. So I think them not understanding that like dance isn't taken away from your shit. They're not taking your business. They're adding to your business. But they're so like not in the know that it's like whatever that is, take the shit down. Like like they threaten and I get it. Like that's kind of how the music industry is going out in the first place. They're trying to find like something to claw onto. Like they hated streaming. Now they're trying to find a way to do it. But that's the basis of my thing. What's your question?
It's for you. How do you feel about, because you just said that it reminded me, like, what I see, like, on my Instagram feed or any feed. How do you feel about the record companies using dancers now? Let's say, like, I see every day, like, Lemon Challenge. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah.
Or just, or just that. How do you feel about that?
I think...
Oh, wait, let me...
Yeah, okay.
I did that question. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about the dancers who don't get compensated for basically saying what you're saying?
Yeah.
Boosting the morale of a record.
Yeah. What I think...
Making it cool.
Two things. Like, I'm torn on it because, one, I appreciate those record labels because obviously the people that are doing it, the corporate side that's doing it, they obviously realize the value of dance. So that's a step up, in itself because before, they just didn't get it. But they're selling us all. Like,
Yeah.
They're selling us all. Like, no dancer. Like, if it's early in the game, like, we need those people that have a business mind, and like we're not gonna.
Is it early though? Because in my head, I feel like I think it's a fucking butt fuck rape kind of situation, right? Because
it's they found a way to find power over dance where before they couldn't, and now they can, and they don't pay the dancers.
At all.
It's dancers.
How you gonna use me to make your song incredibly hot and not compensate me?
Yeah.
But they disguise it as enter your dance into the lemon challenge or like tag hashtag so you can get it published on like.
And the lemon dance challenge, that shit sold beats. That shit sold nerd. That shit sold the specific song. Like,
and the lemon stock went up.
Exactly.
Actual lemons.
For real though, people had to buy lemons to put them in their dance video. Like, real talk though.
Like, imagine how much commerce.
5 years ago, when I first moved to California, like, there was this thing on YouTube. It's this company called Dance On, and they were trying to be the people that bridge the record labels and the dancers, because, you know, and dance is really big. They're taking our videos down, so they try to figure out a way. So they go to the record labels, so the record labels go to them and was like, you know, we got 10 songs, we're going to give y'all these 3 songs, send this version to your dancers and tell them to make videos on it. And like, Dance On has gotten so big, and the record labels are actually going through them. So if you don't get your song through the record label via Dance On, they'll take your video down. But those dancers, like, they could, the way that they get compensated and the way that they sell it to the dancers is like, you put it on YouTube and you get paid for, you know, the ads, basically, like the ads,
YouTube don't even
the ads on your video. But you have to be like, it almost creates a the 1% of dancers, because you have to get like 300 million views to actually get a payout. So like, I signed a contract where I think it was like 80-20 or some shit. And like, if it gets over a certain amount, they'll send you a check. When I tell you 80-20? I get 80, they get 20.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, you getting 20?
Yeah, no. I get 80, they get 20. Okay. But the gotcha is, you got to get 300 million for that to make it. So they're keeping my cents.
300 million?
Like, I have
views?
It's somewhere around that. I'm saying those are the type of views that you have to have to, like, because there's some people that can pay their rent off of YouTube.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you
but
have
even
to
those people are complaining about YouTube.
I know but you have to, because they switched it. But you have to be in the 300 million amount. Like me, in the 50,000 amount. Like, I'm not getting shit. Like, I'm literally getting cents, but they still taking it, because you have to make a certain amount for them to start paying you out checks. And if they're doing this to thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, they are eating.
Like Hov said, YouTube the biggest corporate.
They're eating. Like, they're eating, and now they have the thing, and I think we was.
But I think everyone's mad at YouTube right now. Dancers, artists, even major artists, like video game streamers. That's why. I guess that's why. Do your people use Twitch? Is that like a thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? You're cool. Yes.
All right. That's that like a thing?
Yeah. Twitch.
Yeah. It's like not YouTube. It's like a whole nother platform that you can get paid for, like streaming your live session.
Saw Twitch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, I don't know. The shit makes me, and I was like literally, you know, talking to my mom, like I was super upset. And I don't know, maybe like my gut feeling is like, I'm not about to give these people paid. Like, I'm not doing no fucking lemon challenge. I'm not doing no. Oh, my mom was saying, like, she asked me, like, did you think that race
Black Beatles?
Yeah, without the mannequin challenge. Like, obviously that wasn't dance, but like,
I was thinking about that when we were discussing this stuff. Like,
would
essentially
that
the
song
same thing.
Yeah, would that song have been
not a fucking chance. Not a fucking chance. Great record, but let's be real. Like, that's my problem. Like, you gotta recognize it's like the Bad and Bougie shit. I don't think Bad and Bougie would have been as big without Donald Glover being at the fucking Golden Globes and saying Bad and Bougie is like the best song to make love to in front of a room of white reporters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I just don't think it would have been possible. But that Black Beatles sounds, absolutely it helped. You know how many people were freezing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
But yeah.
And just for you typing in Black Beatles, how could you not listen? You gotta go listen to the song to even do the challenge.
Yeah. And in some cases, buy it.
Nah, nigga, you could just play it. Spotify, play this shit. Yeah. YouTube, play this shit. title, album, play. I need to record this video. Like, you ain't just playing it. Like, niggas don't even download music illegally anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Because niggas ain't got the time. Ain't got time to go on fucking LimeWire.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm in a space where I'm like, I'm just not checking for that dance video shit no more. I
think no dancers should do it.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think y'all
like,
should do that.
and there was this big thing going around, like how dance is being culture vultured. Like, now, you know, I forgot some dancer that I know, he was saying he was talking to somebody outside of the dance industry, and he was like, yeah, I'm a professional dancer. And the person said, ooh, you dance in the room with the red wall? This is fucking class.
Millennium.
This nigga has a resume like longer than your fucking
I see a lot of them shits on my feed now.
You know, like, his resume is ridiculous, and this person gonna ask him, oh, you dance in the room with the red wall?
So what was it was rebuttal though? Yeah.
I don't know.
I do dance in the room with the red wall.
I know, but he don't, because honestly, and this is kind of controversial, but working dancers don't take class as much as people that's not working.
Why would they?
I mean, you still need to work on your craft, like, but there's a whole culture of like just dance class dancers.
It was not to cut you off.
No.
Joseph Secor.
Securis, yeah.
It's a weird last name. But the guy who plays Tommy on Power, he was like, I was in some interview with him, and the guy was like, yeah, you know Denzel still takes class? And he was like, does he? Like, I don't think the interview really knew. I think he probably heard some shit. I don't think Denzel takes classes anymore. But he was like, who teaches him? I need to know, because he was like, so do you still take class? He's like, I'm not taking class anymore. Like, it's nothing that they can teach me in that class that I can't learn on set. Like, I'm actually in it. Like, all my experience and knowledge comes from, I'm in it. Like, I don't need to go to a class if I'm in it. Like, y'all, the class is taught to teaching you how to get in it.
Yeah.
And I always think like the teachers and shit with me is always like the people who teach you on the subject who failed at the subject.
It's true.
Like, how can you teach me how to be a fucking millionaire when you failed at being a millionaire? Or how you teach me how to act when you not even acting?
It's true.
Because if you were really into it, you wouldn't even have time to teach me. If you were really, why would you have time to teach me? But you figure it out, like, oh, you just, like, you were smart enough to realize that, like, I don't even have to be in that.
Yeah.
I could say that my resume is long enough that I danced in the red room so much that I have credibility to say that I know what dance is. Yeah. And you should listen to me because I know what dance is. Yeah. And that's a scary thing for somebody. That's why this town is so crazy. That's scary.
I was about to say, it's so much of that right now. And, like, it literally, like, we're still, in the dance community, we're still talking about this because there's so many dancers that haven't done shit that are, like, YouTube famous.
Just
like,
life.
They're teaching class. Yeah, they're teaching class. They, like, making money off the shit, teaching people the wrong shit. Or, like, at least the shit that's not going to actually get them booked.
No, they just want money.
Yeah, it is. And it's, like,
$15 a head.
It's brought our artistry down. Like, my thing about class is, like, I'm not opposed to the class that's in the cut. It's a teacher that's been teaching for 60 fucking years, like, in the basics, not like, you know, the shit that's on YouTube, like, stuff that will never ever change. Like, once you learn those skills, you can take those forever. Like, I'm not opposed to those classes, but these sellout classes, pretty much, like, that's really what they are. Like, it's dumb because, first of all, if you come to the class all the time, or like the teacher is your friend, you get called out. Not necessarily because you're better, but because you put in more money into the class. Like, you put in more work into that class, whatever. And, like, it'll have the good dancers that's booking everything questioning themselves. Like, and it's not even the standard that they should be, like, judging themselves off. But you'll be like me. I'll be in the class fucking questioning myself when I work more than all these fucking dancers.
This fucking town is insane.
It's crazy, and that's part of the reason why I stay away from class, because I don't like, or at least the classes that, like, it's called the select group class. Like, at the end, it's for YouTube, so they're gonna bring 3 people out or something to, like, do the dance so they can put it on YouTube. It really is.
Have you ever looked a vulture in his eye? Have you ever looked at a human and was like, oh, you're evil?
I have.
Have you? He got to live some more. That's what I feel about. I say that to say that's how I feel about these acting coaches. That's how I feel about these dance people in LA or anyone in this fucking town who, like, does that. Because I thrive on reading people, and I might not always be right. I can admit that, but I'm rarely wrong. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I'm rarely wrong in reading people. Like, it's something that you can look in their eyes and you can tell that you can tell when someone's doing something for the right reasons. You can tell if someone's doing that for the wrong reasons. And I think majority of this town is for the wrong reasons.
I agree.
Like, how can you teach her? What could you... Nigga, I dance with who you want to dance with. And why are you not dancing?
I know.
And if you're that good, why are you just not...
That was one of my biggest, like, things coming here, like... You know, in Maryland,
or acting. Why you ain't acting?
Yeah, like in Maryland, I couldn't like take the because obviously YouTube class was a big thing before you get here, right? And so I'm thinking these teachers are like, man, they working, they on it. You know, I get here, they ain't doing shit but teaching, and it was such a big thing to me. Like, oh shit, the people that I looked up to aren't even where I want to be. Like,
isn't that sad?
It was crazy.
That's sad. When that's like looking up to Superman, and you finally reach the age and time where you could be with Superman. You realize he doesn't even have powers.
He's Clark Kent.
He's Clark Kent.
Yeah, and it fucks
the whole time.
It fucks you up. Like, well, what the fuck have I been doing? Or like, you know, what am I supposed to do now? Like, I think
that's a good rude awakening time.
It is, and that's what I was gonna say. It teaches you like to build your own shit. Like, to like be your own person, get what the fuck you came here to get. And like that's kind of what I experienced. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't care about fucking being in class, I don't care about being at all the fucking dance network events. All I want to do is work. The catch-22 about that what you just said though, this town is weird and you have to be in those. I know,
you have networking. You have to be in those circles, you have to be out. So it's so sad that you can go out and you can see these people who want to be in these circles so bad, and you can tell they want to be in those circles so bad, and they're never going to be in those circles ever.
I know people
because there's no circle. It's just a circle of people who want to be in a circle.
I know a dancer that fucking took Molly took Molly with a choreographer just to work on their job.
That's what this town is. That's when they say like the devil. I remember Derek's grandmother told me before we moved out here. She was like, I heard a lot. You know how grandma is. Yeah. I heard a lot of stuff about LA and Hollywood. Just be careful, keep your sanity, remain you type conversation. Yeah. Because even if you don't live here, the stories that make it around the world are enough to have people like, somebody just took Molly to have not even an opportunity.
A possible opportunity.
Not even possible. You got no indication that this is possibly lead to a gig. You just like, I can be around you and you're doing it, so I don't want to be weird around you. Let me do it. And that's why these bitches been getting fucked by Harvey Weinstein for 48 billion years.
That's true, 48 billion. It's true though, but like honestly, from experience, like it does take you longer to build your network when you're not doing stuff like that. But I would rather have that than fucking being in somebody's face for a job, or like taking Molly or going to somewhere where I don't want to fucking go just to possibly get a job. You know what I mean? Like I'll take my like slow build over like, you know, the kiss ass person that's like,
keep your sanity.
You will. Because also what they do to those people, the kiss ass people, because honestly in LA it does work. And they'll use you and use you and use you until they don't give a fuck about you no more. And then you sit around like, why the fuck, you know, nobody's fucking with me. You oversaturated yourself. You the fucking twerked in every fucking circle. You could, and like they know you, they got you, they don't need you anymore. So I'd rather have.
The sad part about this town is you only got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
There's always somebody else new and younger and faster and who's gonna. It's always a new gullible person coming in. Yeah. Like I don't need you once you figured out the game. I'm gonna go get the fucking person who don't know shit.
It's probably more money for me to go with the person that doesn't know shit.
I ain't got time to deal with this. It's a person on the bus on Greyhound every day coming into Hollywood. Every day with the same exact dream.
That's true.
It's a sad scenario. And those are the ones that end up in Harvey Weinstein's office.
Yeah. But that brings me, I wanted to talk about Dave Chapelle.
Okay.
But yeah, we just watched his two like
new Netflix specials.
Yeah, comedy joints. And like I wasn't even supposed to be inspired, but I was inspired as fuck. Like I love he's what Kanye is to music, or just life. I don't even want to like downplay it that much. Like I don't even want to put it in a box like that. Like this nigga is so hip and brave. Honestly, like that's how I feel about it. Like he's talking about shit that's like, if you were scared to lose your job, you couldn't say stuff like that.
But this nigga already lost his job.
I know.
He actually gave away his job.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the $50 million. This shit is not right. And it took 12 years for Dave Chapelle to get... I mean, Dave Chapelle was still a legend through all those 12 years. Like, if you seen Dave Chapelle, you would be like... But this nigga is like, in my eyes, he's like a GOAT. I know I say this about everyone. Maybe you should have a segment. This is the GOAT segment. Acknowledge the hero. But this nigga put out 4 stand-ups in a year. And not only did he put out 4 stand-ups, the last 2, you would think they were shot last week. This nigga's so... And he said in the first stand-up that he... the first one out of the 2 he just released on New Year's Eve. He said, I'm so good. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I'm really good. Look, I'm going to tell y'all the punchline. Punch her in the pussy. And then he went into a whole story. He's like, I'm so good. I sit around and I got a fishbowl full of punchlines. The end. And I just write them down and put them in there. And then I pick them out and like, oh, how am I going to get to this? The end of this. This nigga did the whole joke about being black in Silver Spring and being poor, blah, 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 blah. And they didn't have enough. They didn't have any more stove tops. So he punched the mother in the pussy. And then... That's just the fucking amazing.
And it still fucked you up. Like, you didn't...
I totally forgot you were talking about punching in the pussy. I totally forgot you were going to get to that.
And even, like, craft-wise. Like, to be able to... He wrote the joke backwards. Like, you got to be so good with the shit that, like... You playing with it. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing this shit for fun right now. Like, he can kill the game.
He's dying to get a Netflix special. This nigga had a Netflix special. He had a contract for 3. The first one that came out, and then he was like... Fuck it, I'm gonna go to a comedy club. I got another one. You want a Netflix? But they're gonna say no. We don't want another Dave Chapelle stand-up comedy. Yeah. Like, then this nigga do the 4th one and just literally talking about right now. This nigga's like, yo, what the fuck is going on in Hollywood? Like, y'all niggas is the capital of rape. Yeah. Like, tell this whole story about the 49-minute special. Talk about how women in Hollywood, you know, getting the shit that's going on now, and like, maybe I need to, like, I want y'all to win, but don't burn the bridge. Nigga said something like, y'all got the evil people back in the corner. Y'all got the evil people, bad people scared. But what happens when the bad people aren't scared anymore?
Right.
That's when you need to worry. Like, so slow down. Like, it's like to the untrained eye, it sounds like he don't believe in the cause of women in Hollywood. He's like, no. And then throughout that whole time he talking about, because he's just talking in the second one. He's like, y'all want to know what happened to me? I don't want to know what happened to me. Like, he like, y'all don't want to know what happened. Do easy things like, you want to know what happened? Okay. Then he goes into the pimp story of Iceberg Slim and blah, blah, blah. He's like, and that's why I walked away. Basically, like, and then it goes off. Like, that nigga's a fucking...
Even if you didn't get it, like, you could have still been entertained just off of comedy.
Sheer strength of him.
And I was telling Davon, it's so dope that, like, because it was a socially conscious set, which, you know, sometimes it's not funny, but this nigga is so good that he knew when to, like, throw a joke in there, but it don't take you off, like, where the journey that he's taking you with this, you know, with this anecdote. Like, I don't know, it was, like, masterful. Like,
I think this nigga's the greatest comedian of all time. Or just, comedian. Like, I don't think there's no one... comedians take 10 years to make a special or just go on tour and rehearse the same shit every night. Like, this nigga said, I got 4 and they're all new jokes. Yeah. You know how hard, Kevin Hart can't release a stand-up every year. Yeah. And Kevin Hart gets worse. Yeah. Like, as they go along, they get, like, it goes like this, like you laughing because you want to not feel bad for Kevin Hart type shit. Like, that's how comedians' life work. This nigga is so good. He's like, I got another one. And I'm going to kill it. And Netflix going to take it. And you're going to watch it. Yeah. And I'm Dave Chapelle. Yeah.
And he pretty much freestyled the one that was the most cohesive.
Jesus Christ.
That's genius. Like, I don't even know how else to say it. Like, it's genius. Like, and you know, like, comedians make us feel like that shit is easy. But, like, it's not even easy to be like an okay comedian. Like the level that he like.
Because he still he has to deliver on some type of level.
Standpoint.
No. Just like us looking at Dave Chapelle.
Oh, okay.
We're looking at it like, you got to make us laugh.
Yeah.
Like, he cannot have a bad day.
Yeah.
So for him to like do that with such ease and like, he's just naturally funny. Like, and he gets it. Like, I don't know if it took that time period away to get
it's
that.
It's probably when he figured out the power of it. Like, he probably knew that, like, you know, he had questions about himself or whatever. But, like, he had time to, like, I own this shit. Like, I am the one. And
then have the gall to talk about his Netflix series that came out early in the year. About the transgender shit and how people was angry. Like, that's how, this nigga's so good. He's like, but we love him because niggas is scared. Comedians don't even talk like comedians anymore. This nigga like, yeah, I get y'all upset about the transgender thing, but I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, and I'm gonna say another joke about transgender that's probably get you more angry, but I don't give a fuck.
And in America, somebody that's not backtracking is so fucking refreshing. Like, everybody backtracks in 2017. You say something, you got to do a public apology, or like, it's this thing. So it's so refreshing to have somebody that's unapologetic. They not fucking backtracking. They standing behind what they what they said, whether it's politically correct or not. Like, it's just really dope and like refreshing. And I was like really proud of him.
It brings me back to what we were talking about with leaders, right? Mm-hmm. He could be a way better leader now that he went through the torture of the sacrificial lamb. That whole 12 years. Yeah, he's a way better leader now than he would have been on Chappelle's show.
Yeah, he talked about that though.
He probably would never do a blind black racist guy ever again. No. You know what I mean? Like the Chappelle show skit. He'll never do that. He'll probably never do another Tyrone Bigham again. Yeah.
But
I think it's amazing.
He talked about that, how like the heroes die hard. Like, he's like, nigga, I don't want to be a hero. I want to be
rich.
But that's the crossover. Like, it's the young leader that never figured it out. They crash and burn. They die. They commit suicide. Like, they get to this point where it's so much and it consumes them. But if the person goes past that, you become the Dave Chappelles. You become the fucking Tupacs. You become, the Steve Jobs. It's like that was just a dope thing to see. Like, I don't know. It was just very inspiring. I don't know how to say it.
Shout out Dave Chapelle.
Acknowledge the hero.
Acknowledge the hero. That's all I got, though. I got pissed so bad.
I'm good. We talked about it a lot.
I'm over here, legs crossed. I got pissed so bad.
This was a good episode.
It was. Just Happy New Year's, everyone. Get your do whatever you got to do. I know this is the same belligerent, same shit we always say every New Year, but really, do the shit you got to do. Stop bullshitting. Stop procrastinating. Time doesn't wait for nobody. We have 24 hours. You sleep 8 of them. So, do your goddamn thing. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. What is it?
At it's okay. At ACK the Hero on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Follow me on Instagram at LTNYA, on Twitter at LTNYA_.
And follow me at Life is Tatum on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah.
Subscribe to the podcast.
iTunes.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, Soundcloud, all that good shit.
Yep.
We out here to prosperity and silent moves in 2018.
Happy New Year. You good?
Yeah, I'm not good.
All right. Peace.